Have you ever noticed how when the illusion of control completely shatters and everyone else is just, well, panicking, certain individuals remain almost unnervingly calm? It's like while the rest of the world is frantically scrambling for life rafts, they're just calmly observing the storm. They're practically in their element. So why is that? Why do some people seem to absolutely thrive in pure chaos while everything else is spinning out of control? Well, welcome to this explainer. We're going to figure that out. Today, we're diving into this really fascinating concept, the Stoic Alchemist, and how exactly you navigate Plutonian crises. Specifically, we're looking at a super interesting astrological aspect, Pluto, septile, the south node. Now, for the seasoned astrology buffs tuning in, you already know this combination is notorious for its intense, unyielding pressure. But hey, whether you read natal charts in your sleep or you're just genuinely fascinated by the hidden mechanics of human psychology, this explainer is going to take us on a pretty wild ride straight into the underworld of the psyche. Okay, let's just slow down for a second and look at the number 51.43 degrees. I want to appreciate the sheer mathematical weirdness of this for a moment. See, a septile is created when you divide the 360-degree zodiac by 7. But here's the catch. 7 absolutely refuses to divide neatly. It creates this infinite, repeating, totally irrational decimal. And actually, that's exactly why astrologers sit up and pay attention when a septile shows up. It's literally geometry breaking down. It's like math itself is throwing up its hands to say that the infinite, the unpredictable, and the entirely irrational are breaking right through into our reality. So because a perfect seven-sided figure literally cannot be drawn with your standard compass and straight edge, this aspect represents astrological forces that operate completely outside of normal logic. We're talking about heavy stuff here. Fate, deep compulsions, intense spiritual pressure, and those really weird turning points in life. You know the ones I'm talking about. Those moments that feel like they just dropped in from another dimension and completely defy any sort of ordinary reasoning. When a septile is active, life doesn't follow some logical, step-by-step plan. Nope. It moves through bizarre synchronicities and sudden, deeply fated shifts. Now, throw our two main planetary heavy hitters into this irrational geometry, and man, things get incredibly intense. First, you have Pluto, which acts as this cosmic incinerator. It's raw power, destruction, and profound rebirth. It just relentlessly burns away everything that isn't absolutely essential. And then we have the South Node. This represents the ghosts of your past, right? It's your inherited patterns, those old survival habits, and all that deep psychic baggage you were basically born carrying. Combine these two, and you get a serious cosmic plot twist. A hidden history that's deeply rooted in secrecy, obsession, and recurring crises. All right, let's get into section 1, the territory, your psychic radar. So how does this intense combination actually show up in real life? Well, it creates this incredible, highly specialized radar. First off, there's an instinctive sensing of unspoken motives. Imagine you're sitting at, I don't know, a polite dinner party or a super boring boardroom meeting, and you can literally feel the buried resentments or the hidden agendas that everyone else is completely ignoring. Second, there's usually a deep fascination with psychology and taboo subjects, kind of the darker, unpolished sides of human nature. And third, there's that uncanny calmness during chaotic events we talked about. These folks effortlessly spot the hidden truths that others are desperately trying to avoid. I want you to really listen to this. Your psyche has visited Plutonian territory before. Just think about what that actually means for a second. That calmness you feel during a crisis, it's not detachment. It isn't a lack of empathy at all. It's profound familiarity. When a crisis hits, it doesn't shock your system because it feels like a landscape of destruction and transformation that your psyche already inherently recognizes. You've been in the dark before, so your eyes are already adjusted. Make sense? Which brings us to section 2, the struggle and the futility of ordinary logic. Here is the hard truth. You cannot solve your past with ordinary logic. When you're dealing with this kind of irrational, mathematical weirdness, the faded patterns, those compulsive needs for control that just flare right up when you're stressed, using conventional problem solving is completely useless. It's literally like trying to fix a complex software glitch by whacking your computer with a physical wrench. Trying to logic your way out of a spiritual compulsion, it doesn't resolve a thing. It just builds up this immense, suffocating pressure inside of you. And this brilliantly illustrates the ultimate choice you face. You have to choose your own approach to handling this pressure. Are you going to constantly wrestle the underworld, fighting the chaos at every single turn? Or are you going to become its tour guide? Look, right now, you might be totally exhausted from that first option, just stuck in compulsive survival strategies trying to control the uncontrollable. But the second you step back, you realize you don't actually have to fight the storm. You can consciously navigate it, empowering yourself and the people around you. Okay, section 3, the climax, the alchemical shift. So, how do we actually pull off this transformation? There are 3 actionable, rigorous steps here. Step 1, abandon ordinary logic. You just have to accept that you're dealing with nonlinear, unpredictable forces. Step 2, expose the hidden pattern. And step 3, observe without judgment. Engaging directly with these messy, deep forces of your psyche is hard, no doubt about it, but it's an absolute necessity if you want to stop just reacting to the world and start claiming true authority over your own life.
Let's zoom in on that second step for a minute, exposing the hidden pattern. How do you do it? First, catalog your own mathematical weirdness. Look back at your life and pinpoint those strange turning points. You know, the repetitive loops, the bizarre coincidences, the completely irrational crises. Next, identify those unexplained compulsive urges for absolute safety that just hijack your brain during high stress. And finally, turn that psychic radar inward. Stop analyzing everyone else's secrets and dig into your own unspoken motives. What is the inherited psychic baggage actually driving your actions behind the scenes?
Now, once you've mapped out that hidden history, we reach what is arguably the absolute most critical directive in this whole process. Observe the urge for control without judgment. Simply watching these inherited compulsions bubble up during a crisis, without trying to immediately fix them with that useless ordinary logic, and crucially without shaming yourself for feeling them, is exactly what strips away their power over you. The moment you stop judging the urge, the alchemy happens. The awareness itself becomes the cure, dissolving the compulsion in real time. It's a total game changer. And finally, section 4, the return, guiding the underworld. If you take literally one thing away from this whole explainer, let it be this. Stop wrestling the underworld and become its tour guide. You already have this innate familiarity with crisis, so stop fighting the destruction and the chaos like it's your mortal enemy. Instead, accept that it's the territory you actually know best. Utilize that deep familiarity to navigate the depths. It brings you peace of mind, sure, but it also allows you to guide others who are experiencing that darkness for the very first time. This is the whole shebang right here, the ultimate transformation, moving from fated compulsion to conscious authority. By ditching normal logic, bravely exposing your hidden history, and just observing your urges without judgment, all that psychic baggage is completely alchemized. It morphs from this heavy compulsive burden into a really profound authoritative sensitivity to the human condition. You aren't blindly reacting to stress anymore. Instead, you're able to choose your own authority, moving through life with this grounded presence, fully aware of the hidden currents shaping reality. So, I'll leave you with this. Where do you need to take the lead in your own hidden history? Think about those fated patterns, those irrational turning points, and those compulsive loops in your own life. It is officially time to stop being a victim of your past and start consciously choosing your own path forward. Claim your authority. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and until next time, keep exploring those hidden patterns in your world.